Hey everybody, welcome to Options with Hans. I am Hans Albrecht, market maker for 15 years before moving on to manage 12 income funds. So long equity, long commodity, long all kinds of stuff with income overlays, option overlays to generate a whole bunch of income, $750 million in income generated over the years for everybody. So as always, this is for educational and information purposes only. If you're okay with that, let's move forward. Like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an update from me. Usually strategy type things, trades a lot of the time, kind of great ideas. And we've had a lot of nice moves over the last few months, and really happy with everyone who's joined Leaps Trader, which has been a phenomenal success. Really happy with the result. You get phenomenal service. And of course, let me take a look at some of those trades right now. Let's take a look. We've got a number of trades that have done really well. Of course, we closed a whole bunch last week. I talked about how I was getting a little bit nervous, and then it was timely because we had the sell-off. I'm not getting super bearish or at all. I think maybe we have the potential to spin our wheels a little bit for another month or two into seasonality, right? August, September, the worst stretch of the year, so we could have that. Although I have this feeling AI is going to start really, trumping that kind of seasonal sort of pressure. So we can see closes 30%, 258%, 38, 19, 33, 117, 84, 294% here, 93%, 54. So we got, and here we've had, this is actually Amazon. So we put on a really nice position. I covered these for 50 cents not long ago. So sold them for 505, covered them for 50 cents. That's about a 90% capture. Not a 90% profit, as a lot of option sellers BS you. It's not a 90% profit on risk taken. It's a 90% capture. I wish people would say it properly. So I captured a good chunk of that. And then now I just have this downside put spread, which is doing really well. So these hedges can really make sense at times. Today, we're going to talk about Palantir. I think it's a big because, of course, we have the equipment makers that are very important to the build out of AI. This inference phase is just gigantic, much bigger than people think. And I think that the equipment phase continues from a training perspective as well as an inference perspective, meaning lots of GPUs, data centers up the wazoo. I think they're making a mistake on Amazon. I think it's going to do fantastically well over time as it has that foundational cloud layer for so many businesses, so many areas of the world using that AWS. So I think that those are, but right now it's about, well, what have you done for me lately? So Microsoft gets the real sort of bonus points because they have really shown that you can turn AI and spend on AI into monetization opportunities because they have that ecosystem. Amazon doesn't quite have that ecosystem. That's going to be a little bit of slower burn. Meta does have. Google has that ecosystem that is really going to work for them as well. That's why their cloud grew really well as well. Although Azure, Microsoft just blew the doors off of what anybody expected from a cloud growth perspective. So amazing stuff there, but really kind of confirmation of what I've been saying for months, which is really, this is big. This is happening. It's not about selling GPT for $20. Trust me, that is not the point. It is about how you use it and the value you give people with solutions that use AI. And Microsoft it has a built-in solution that is simply absorbing AI capability now, and they're passing that on. And what's amazing about that is they're going to have incredible pricing ability, right? They're going to be able to raise price on that product, and you're not going to do anything about it. So you just keep paying. So terrific investment as well, Microsoft. Today, we're going to talk about Palantir because that is the other side, right? We talked about equipment. Now it's going to be software. It's going to be the companies that are going to sort of come in and make sense of all of this new data, and existing data, all these silos of data that a company may have. And a huge company just has data coming out of every corner of every part of the corporation. You need to start making sense of that. And Palantir is a company that comes in and just literally starts showing you value. This is where you can make money. This is where you can save money. This is where you may have to let some people go. This is where you can create instant value from these products, and their phone isn't just ringing off the hook. So what can we do? Well, we've got positions here in Leaps Trader AI. We've got a position in Leaps Explosion, I think. So we've got some great upside. Love Palantir, up 52% on the position, 27% on another one, doing really well. But I'd like to add a little bit of more exposure. What I do when I want to add exposure and a stock has really had a great run up. There are a few different situations where I like to use my turbo trade, but turbo really fits the bill right now because I want to give myself the ability for the stock to potentially pull back, right? I think the report's going to be good. I think it's going to be, positive. And maybe we pull back a little just because the stock's had just such a great run. But I want to create exposure just in case it is horse out of the barn and everyone's just going bananas and Palantir is the thing that people are going to be focusing on. So I think it could be a gap and go. I think it could be a pullback, which in which case I think it's going to be a buy. So what do I do in that kind of situation? Well, I'm going to show you right now because turbo trade is something that is very option pricing level agnostic, right? So you've got this stock that's done really well. Sure, it could pull back maybe to 130, 140 and still be very much in an uptrend, right? So this thing is still looking very good. But, and I've got a lot of greens on my MTI, which you learn in my program, you get a lot of greens. We pulled back a little strong yellow again. So this doesn't phase me at all because it's a strong story. It's a great technical picture. And we've got this amazing, beautiful strength from the MTI indicator after very difficult period in here, which was saying stay the heck out of Dodge. And that's exactly what made sense at the time. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go in and we're going to look at something like a December. So I'm going to go December, sell something like a 1035 and you're going to get 1025 for that, right? So that's a nice amount of premium. It's decent. It's not phenomenal. It's okay. It's a reasonable amount based on, I'm not going to get into the option level metrics that I look at, but 1025. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to also buy a little protective soldier down here, the 105 for about 340. So that is a trade that is going to turn this into a credit spread, a bull put spread, as people sometimes call it. You're going to get a credit for this, receiving 1030 and then paying 345, which is basically going to give you like almost $7, right? 685, something like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that as, that would be typically what I would call an income trade, although I would never do an income trade with 140 days out in terms of expiry. I wouldn't want to do that. But in this case, because I need to play some of the upside, I want to give myself a little bit of extra time, but also a cushion. So here, as I sell that put spread, I'm not obligated to own Palantir until it gets down to 135. And if it does that relatively soon, I'm going to have this little soldier to play with. These could pop up to $8, $7, $8, $9, and I'm going to be able to play with those, maybe roll them down, maybe just get rid of them depending on your capital situation, how efficient you want to be with your capital. There are a lot of things you can do. I did this on Meta and turned a loss into a huge win, right? So this is one of my methods to basically play with a spread that goes against you. But we're not going to assume that it goes against us, but we do have a little downside cushion here, which I like. It's a stock that's had a really good run, and I believe it could continue, but what if it doesn't? Turbo trade. That is the answer. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to buy this 175 and I'm going to sell the 200. So 1785 less about 1065. Let's say that's 1085. So 1785, 1085, so about 685. That's about what I'm getting here. So I'm getting 685. I'm spending 685. I'm able to put on this structure for even money, right? I'm not paying anything for this. I do have some downside risk down here, and the whole thing is going to cost me about, I don't know, about three grand total, right? Because I'm doing it for even. So $3,000 of risk to get involved in a stock that has had a terrific run. Option prices are not super cheap. They're pretty good out here in December, but I am at the stage where, because I'm seeing lots of very positives from the MTI, from momentum, from story, from the fact that I think these guys are doing everything right and people are underestimating them over the long run. Maybe it doesn't show in this particular report, but it'll be very interesting to see their outlook and how they see things going forward. I would wager to guess that it's going to be positive, and that CARP's going to basically say, listen, we are starting to get some real reach outs to get involved. It's going to be a fever. People are going to be feverishly getting involved in AI to try to derive value from it, because your two competitors down the road are doing it. And if you don't do it, you are going to be in trouble. So that is how this is going to turn into an absolute fever. And valuation is high, but you know what? If you always looked at valuation, you would have missed probably the 30 years of great opportunity. So valuation, okay. Valuation is going to get you into Intel, which has done nothing as NVIDIA has has gone up like bananas. So be careful with valuation for certain specific areas of your portfolio. Now, you have to be okay with this, right? Your risk tolerance has to be there for volatile areas, for technology innovation areas that can move around like crazy. These things can move around 40%, no problem. But for the portion of your portfolio that this may fit, and consult your advisor for that portion of that part of your portfolio, we have got a terrific setup over the next few years, I believe. So that is my turbo trade that's going to create upside. It is volatility agnostic. And let me tell you, one more thing it gives you is it gives you confidence and it gives you the ability to zoom out. What happens when you trade options from the long side? When you have this decay, you feel pressure. You've got to be right. You've got to be right now. You've got to be right next, and by next week. If you're not right, you're absolutely feeling the pressure. This is volatility agnostic. You are collecting. If option prices drop on your call spread, they are probably equally dropping on your put spread, and that is an offsetting factor that allows you to just sort of sit back and go, you know what? I've got a cushion. I've got time. I can wait for my thesis to play out. That's one of the most beautiful things to have. We cannot control much in markets, but one thing we can control is how much time we give ourselves with an option strategy, and that's where the turbo really, really, really shines. Momentum, time, the ability to wait to be right, the ability to wait to be maybe wrong before we're right. All kinds of great things come into play. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Well, let's see how this position plays out. I'll update everybody. And if you're interested, we have crypto income being released. You jump into the free ebooks down below in the description. I'm going to put you on the list, the wait list for crypto income, as well as Turbo Trader, which is coming very soon. We're going to do all kinds of trades like this, explosive upside trades that have the potential to make 150, 200%, even more when you can really, really nail them. They're fantastic, wonderful trades when they work out, and they get me really, really excited, I think, as you can tell. So have a great day, everybody, and let's see what happens with the Palantir earnings. I am very excited, so we'll see you next time.